Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Can I get back to you on that?
You can, but Cagney and Lacey are here, and they're ready.
Oh, yeah, but they got guns.
Oh, come on. You're ready. Come on.
I know, but why does my stomach feel like the inside of my kid's wet sneakers?
It's the morning program with Mariette Hartley and Rollin Smith. I'm Bob Saget, and here they are, Mariette and Rollin.
I am going to prove to America that you are not just another pretty face.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yes, you out there. I am that person that does these things. I used to do these things, but I'm not doing this anymore. I have a new job now. Yes.
That's good. I'm glad.
Welcome, all of you, to the morning program, all of you here in the studio audience, and thank you for being with us at home. This is the first of years to come, our very first show, I hope. Oh, boy. We hope you'll make our home your home every Monday through Friday. Isn't this the most beautiful kitchen you've ever seen? Come on, I'll show it to you.
Go around.
This is a real working fireplace where we'll toast marshmallows, warm hands, and get very hot during interviews. And this is an actual working refrigerator. Each one of us has his own shelf, and guess which one's is perfect? Why do I feel like Julia Mead? Oh, what's that rocking horse doing here, Bob? That's supposed to be in your room. Oh, well. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we have a real mailbox out there. We're actually going to be getting mail and probably birds, because we have birdseed in it, too. And what is Jessica Lange and Jack Nicholson doing? This is a pretty sneaky way of getting men in the kitchen, don't you think?
Oh, come on.
You've been in kitchens before, but
Sure.
not one like this.
That's true.
We want to be your friendly wake-up call. Speaking of morning friends, I want you to meet mine. They've been my friends for the last month, and they're terrific. And they will be friends of yours, I know. First, newsman and journalist and my co-anchor, Rollin Smith.
Mariette. That's Rollin.
Rollin? Oh, we'll talk later.
You're right. And our sidekick announcer, affectionately known as Otto, Marriott's slave.
Oh, yes.
His parents insist on calling him Bob Saget.
I did everything you needed, Mariette. I dusted your children and sucked the lint out of your dressing room.
Oh, thank you, Bo.
You're welcome.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, now it's time, as it will be every morning, to meet our weatherman for all seasons, Mark McEwen.
I know. We'll talk later, right?
No. You go. Rain or shine, you go.
I've got things to talk about today. Come on over to the weather map over here. As you notice, there's a lot of sun all over the country today, but hey, let's talk about the East Coast first. That heavy storm that dumped up to 18 inches of snow over northern New England right up in here has ended, but they're having strong winds will continue to cause blowing and drifting of the white stuff. Very hazardous traveling conditions, so we're going to put myself right up here to let you know there's going to be snow up in Maine today. So watch out for that. Now, in the heartland, the big story today is balmy temperatures throughout the heartland. 50s and 60s across Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, and South Dakota. May even reach the mid-60s this afternoon in Denver. They'll be doing the Super Bowl shuffle in Bermudas. Watch out for that. So also, I want to tell you about light rain possible for parts of southern Texas down in here. Also, rain is likely for the northwest coast, so we're going to put myself right up there so I don't get rain on myself either. That's a quick look at the national picture. Now, here's the forecast for your neck of the woods.
Good morning, Bob Cooper with your Channel 6 forecast this Monday morning. Unseasonably warm weather is what we'll enjoy with sunshine today, a high near 58 degrees. Overnight, fair and temps in the low 30s. For tomorrow, more sunshine, and again, temperatures near 60.
This portion of the morning program is sponsored by Vicks Sinex. With Sinex, you feel better in 1 second. Plus, it keeps you breathing for hours.
Right now, it's about 5 minutes after the hour, and it's Monday, of course, which means it's time for Money Watch.
Yes. Christmas was wonderful, right?
Mine was.
Then why are you saying to yourself, oh, my Lord, what have I done to my credit cards? Isn't that true, Betsy, huh?
Well, the problem is, the question is whether or not you can pay them off. And
This is Betsy Ashton. Betsy is the senior correspondent for Today's Business, and she'll be with us each and every Monday as our personal finance advisor. So, Betsy.
trying to get you out of messes, exactly.
Yes. What should we do about our credit card debts and rates and all that stuff.
Well, if you can't pay it off at the end of the month, and a lot of you can't, because let's face it, you really did it this time, you might have an awful lot that you're paying that is sort of a surprise that you don't even know about. Do you know how much interest you're paying on your credit cards? And the fact is, look at this, the national average is 18.6%. You wouldn't pay that on a car loan, you wouldn't pay it on a mortgage, but you may well be paying it on your credit cards. Now, this is interesting when you consider that the banks pay out 7.6% for the money, then they sell it to you at this, and you can see, let's all go into the banking business, right? How much does this add up to? Let's just take a $2,000 balance that you got on your credit cards, and you're going to pay it off at a reasonable $200 a month at 18.6% interest. After 6 months, you haven't paid off the balance, but you've paid $145 in interest. You can't eat it, you can't drive it, you can't decorate your home with it. Gone.
So what do we do about all that? What can we do?
The good news is there are now banks and financial institutions that have some lower interest rates without jacking up annual fees and still give you a grace period, and you can find out about them. You can actually write to the Bank Card Holders of America. Their Fair Deal Bank List will tell you anyone in your area, 333 Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast, Washington, D.C., 20003. You got to send them $1. That's postage and handling and all of that stuff. But they will tell you how to get a better deal.
That's great.
It's possible.
Great.
Thanks, Betsy. Coming up next, Sharon Gless and Time Daily, TV's Cagney and Lacey.
Plus, national and local news and comedy club with comedian Tom Curley. Stay for the day.
Jellyfish swims faster than that.
Not with a clogged nose like this.
Try Sinex.
Well, in Toyotas, we've had a lot of nice comments about the way we do business. Besides making great deals and giving good service, folks tell us they appreciate no high pressure from our sales force. We just never use any high pressure. In fact, most customers tell us when they're really ready to buy.
Okay, I'm ready. Just let me out of here. I'll buy this car.
See what I mean? No high pressure and another happy Toyota owner. That's at Andy Ewing Toyota in Muskogee.
Planning a trip to Europe, Hawaii, Disneyland, or any other place in the world? Then come to Jefferson Tours' $1 Million World Travel and Vacation Show. Come win valuable prizes like free airline tickets to London via TWA. Everyone wins generous discounts on all the vacations in Jefferson's big brochure of U.S. and international tours. Meet many exhibitors who want to help you take your dream vacation. All at the $1 Million Jefferson's World Travel and Vacation Show. Saturday and Sunday afternoon in Tulsa's Convention Center. Be there, be a winner.
Did you have something you wanted to tell us, Bo?
Yes, and I have to tell you right away. It's time for the Comedy Club, and this is the theme. Listen to this. COMEDYCLUB. Each morning at this particular time, we'll present a different comedy talent. And our first performer was born in Milwaukee. He graduated from Oshkosh State Teachers Normal College, but he's anything but normal now. Please welcome Tom Curley.
Living out here on the East Coast is different, isn't it? People in the East Coast are a little stuck up. You come out here and, Where are you from? Wisconsin. Oh, yeah? Okay, dokie. Why is it that everybody thinks everybody in the Midwest sits around all day? Do you think butter is better than oleomargarine? Come on, man. We're not dumb. We know stuff. That's a girl. We know. We're not dopes. Yeah, you guys are really different out here. One thing I noticed right away, being from the Midwest, I'm 6'4.5", and coming here to New York City, especially, why is everybody so tiny? I was on an elevator, all I heard was all these little people running around me, man, throwing ropes around me, want me to lay back, give me loaves of bread. Oh, yeah, you're real friendly at first. Hit 14 for us, please. Right after that, you get mean. I'll tell you, there's something out here. What is it? I guess in New York, everybody has to be tiny to fit into that one-bedroom, $400 million condo, huh? Come on, honey, cut your legs off. It's a great buy. No, people around the country are different sizes. I'm telling you. You ever watch a Macy's Day Parade? You can see it from the marching bands. Band from New York City. Band from New Jersey. Band from Connecticut. 35 cents. 35 cents. 35 cents. Band from Minnesota. Mommy, are those balloons? No, they're people. Big, man. Where I come from, Wisconsin, boy, I'll tell you, women are large. You know, I mean, nothing wrong with East Coast women. They're very nice, but they're smaller. Boy, in Wisconsin, you go out with a woman with the name Gretchen. There's a date, too. No picking her up in a bar or something. You go to the home. Hi, Gretchen. Brought you your flowers. I wanted a tree. White pine? Redwood. Heavy duty, really. Oh, well, I'm getting used to this city, though. It is kind of exciting. The only thing is, when I moved here, they said, boy, be careful. New York City, all that crime. Do you know what's the scariest thing in this town? The Lincoln Tunnel. I was driving through that thing. You people are saints that use it. I'm sitting there. The traffic was backed up. I'm sitting in this car in the middle of the Lincoln Tunnel, parked for like 15 minutes. All I hear is... people in the car next to me. Hail Mary, full of grace. And ladies and gentlemen, there is a human being in the middle of the Lincoln Tunnel, a police officer or something, in a little plastic cage. He sits in there. That's got to be the world's worst gig, right? All day long. 1, 2, 3. You know, what a job. Yeah, you'll see him. You go through, he's a little green, you know. I really hope that they're pumping some oxygen in there. I mean, what is that guy's kid's going to look like? Oh, I like to meet my little boy, Buick.
Next, the news, then Sharon Gless and Tyne Daly and Sophie Loren. So hold that thought.
Anyone who thinks jazz is cool ought to see my group when we're really hot.
Give your body the best.
Safeguard, the most deodorant soap lather you can get to clean odor away with the most deodorant soap protection you can get to help keep odor away.
Hey, that's important, because nobody wants to end their evening on a sour note.
Give your body the best with Safeguard.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. If your child had a cough, she'd get just what the doctor orders. But for your cough, you play doctor at home, even trying medicine you originally bought for your child. You need one of the adult formulas from Vicks. For the coughs adults get, with the strength adults need. Formula 44 for coughs, 44D for coughs with congestion, and 44M for coughs with congestion and a raw, irritated throat. The adult formulas. You can't buy anything more effective.
The adult formulas from Vicks, of course.
Tonight, serve stovetop instead of
boiled potatoes. Please, Mom, don't make those. Give us our stovetop stuffing each and every night.
Noodles and rices just aren't nice as having our stovetop stuffing each and every night.
Why make the usual when you can make it the great taste they all love? Easy, delicious stovetop.
Stovetop's our favorite. We really crave it. It goes with everything just right. Let's make it stovetop tonight.
I have a secret. See how smooth my dress fits? How trim I look? How I don't jiggle? A girdle? Never. I get my control from 2 ounces of sheer power. No-nonsense control top pantyhose. What I like are those special ribs in the panty. You can see they're really working. I like my no-nonsense control top. They make me look better and feel better about me. No-nonsense control top pantyhose.
The look, the fit, the feel. That's no nonsense.
It's time now for national and local news, as it will be each morning on the quarter hour. Let's go to CBS News and Forrest Sawyer. Good morning, Forrest.
Good morning, Roland. Church envoy Terry Waite is on his way to Beirut this morning on a new mission to try to free the Lebanon hostages. Heavy fighting and fears for his own safety had delayed Waite's trip. The American Arms for Hostages controversy is still waiting on the president's desk. Mr. Reagan will put in his first day on the job since his prostate surgery. He's under orders to take it easy, but there is new word of American involvement in the Iran-Iraq war. The New York Times reports that the U.S. gave doctored intelligence data to both sides. The reported motive was to keep either side from winning, but both sides are now locked in fierce battle. The Iranian missiles hit 2 key Iraqi cities. Iraq answered with its own airstrikes. Both sides report heavy casualties. Near Los Angeles, about 300 people rallied yesterday to support the president on Contra aid. There was a confrontation with about 100 anti-Contra protesters. At least one anti-Contra demonstrator was roughed up and slightly hurt. U.S. arms negotiator Max Kampelman meets President Reagan today before heading for talks with Moscow's new representative. He is Deputy Foreign Minister Yuli Vorontsov. It's hoped his rank means Moscow wants a deal. Europe is in a record deep freeze. It is sub-zero in many countries, locking ships in harbors and cutting off supplies. Sweden has its coldest weather in 112 years. Army troops are helping out. It's 40 below in Moscow today, but that is warmer than Siberia. There today's high will be 70 below. In London this morning, it is official. Buckingham Palace says Prince Edward is quitting the Royal Marines. British newspapers say that Edward's parents argued with him for much of the weekend, but they simply could not convince their youngest son to keep up tradition and stay in. The Denver Broncos and the New York Giants will play in Super Bowl 21. The Broncos beat the Browns 23-20 in overtime yesterday for the AFC title. Barefooter Rich Karlis kicked the winning field goal. No overtime needed for the Giants. They shut down and shut out the Washington Redskins in Giant Stadium. Final score, 17-0. Next stop is Pasadena on January 25th, where the weather will be much warmer. I'm Forrest Sawyer, and that is the latest from CBS News.
Good morning from Channel 6. I'm Robert Joffe, and welcome to Community Update. Joining us this morning is Susan Driesel from the Hillcrest Center for Women's Health. Good morning.
Hi, Robert.
Tell me briefly about the center.
The center is Tulsa's first comprehensive facility to meet women's needs, and we're getting ready to celebrate our first anniversary.
Okay. What happens at the center? What is the center all
We
about?
serve as a referral service. We offer a wide variety of educational programs. We have exercise classes and unique clinical services, including mammography, osteoporosis exams, and initial physical exams.
Okay. How does someone become involved in your programs?
They can call the center, and the number is 749-4444, and enroll as a member. It's a free membership, and if they enroll, then they have a lot of benefits as far as discounts and availability of services.
Okay. When you say it's a free membership, I mean all the activities that you mentioned before are free once you're a member?
The membership is free, and then many of the activities are free themselves.
Okay.
And then many of the activities have discounted prices for members.
Okay. Briefly, tell me about the special seminar coming up tomorrow.
Well, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., we'll have open house at the center, and we're located at 1822 East 15th Street. We'll have free services, including diabetes screening, blood pressure checks, stress checks, osteoporosis risk questionnaires,
okay.
Massage,
right.
child development assessments, and we'll be giving away some very nice prizes, having drawings and having special educational events.
Terrific, and that starts tomorrow.
Right.
All right, terrific. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us this morning for Community Update. I'm Robert Joffe. Stay tuned now for more of the CBS Morning Program. Have a good day.
When I hurt my back on the job, I experienced pain like I never felt before. Most days I could barely work. All the doctors gave me were pain pills. Until I went to the Pain Trol program. Their team of professionals really cared, and they used the most advanced technology for diagnosing and treating pain I'd ever seen. I just wish I'd gone to the Pain Trol program sooner.
There's no reason to continue living in pain. Call the Pain Trol program at Jay Memorial Hospital. Call 918-253-4284 now.
Hello, I'm Bill Teagans.
And I'm Jill Lyon. Look what KOTV has reeled in for 1987.
It's Channel 6 Fishing Tackle Night at the Boat Sport and Travel Show on Expo Square.
Wednesday, January 28th, KOTV will have free fishing lures for the first 3,000 visitors to our KOTV booth.
Then we'll tackle the news live from the deck of a huge cruiser.
Catch the fishing spirit Wednesday, January 28th at the Tulsa Boat Sport and Travel Show.
Share the spirit with Channel 6.
Okay, guys, it hasn't been easy for the working woman, and nobody knows that better than my next guests. Two successful women and cops and friends, by the way. Sharon Gless and Tyne Daly, TV's Cagney and Lacey. I can't believe you guys are here. It's such a good omen that you're on our first show.
Well, it's kind of sort of delicious to open up something, isn't it? I think this is fun.
And you're here now to receive an award. Is that right? You want to talk about the award? You don't? Okay, let's talk about something else.
I felt I was hesitant to come and help you kick off the show. When I got off the plane, arrived in New York, I put 80 cents in the machine to get an orange juice, and it swallows it up. I said to my boss, I said, the machine just ate my 80 cents. He said, welcome to New York, you just got mugged. Then I walked into my bathroom and knocked myself out on a ledge, and here I am to help you kick off the show.
Oh, that's great. That sounds kind of like some of my experiences.
Yeah.
Really know where hostility. No, but I really like it. I like it. I have to. First of all, I want to say that these two women, plus Barney Rosenzweig, who happens to be here, is producing the show. If you want to pick Barney up there in the audience, these three people have single-handedly changed women's image in television series. I happen to know that. Having been involved in the Women's Committee, in Screen Actors Guild, I know that people like to laugh at women, but very few people get away with actually taking women seriously. And you have done that. How much input do you have in some of the issues that you've been involved with?
As much as we dare.
Really? Barney's tough, huh?
Right. No, it's a very open atmosphere, really, for communication. They've been very good, but depending on how much energy you have, you try and tell your best truth. It's a struggle. The hardest thing is to write that stuff every week. I have great honor to the writers, because they got to sit down and
the writers say the door is always open to us because we took it.
So you really did? I mean, did you start kind of insisting on that, or it's just kind of a mutual?
It's always been a pretty good relationship. I mean, if we think of ideas early enough, they'll write it. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, we certainly, as Barney says, we're the custodians of our characters, so we know the dialogue.
And you've enjoyed that. Your pals your drinking buddies off stage. No, we don't do that.
There isn't any off-stage time. We're 14, 16 hours a day together. I mean, the work.
Speaking of that,
it's the life.
We spent Saturday together, though.
My microphone. Hold on 1 second. My microphone fell. Oh, it's my chest.
Very odd.
I'll just hold it here. That's cute. Is that all right? Can I use a Sharon's?
Sure. I'll lean in.
Lean in.
Anyway, but you do work 16 hours a day, right? How does that work? Now you're single and you're married. What is an easier state to be in when you're working those hours? Do you know? I mean,
an easier state?
Yeah, to be single, to be married.
I was going to say,
I don't know, because I don't know the other.
Hopefully Wisconsin,
right. Yeah. I think I see a time schedule. I think it's easier to be single because she has to go home and she has 3 beautiful daughters and a beautiful husband that must be maintained, right?
Well, and get very
little maintenance
here. Very little maintenance on the home front. About this time of the year, it's I feel that it's all going to be over again, and once again the job will have beaten me and have cost me all that is near and dear. However, we managed to squeak through.
So whenever I see George, I go, hi, George. Hey, don't hit me.
You have two daughters that my kids went to school with, and now you have a new one that you had later in life.
Later in life, yes. 39 years old.
Is there a difference? How do you... 39?
I'm 40 now. I had her when I was 39.
How is it to breastfeed your baby and rest and get sleep and do all that?
It's as much fun as it was. It's also...
do you have as much energy?
No. I didn't know that it took actually 3 or 4 large adult people to take care of 1 infant person. That's as many as you really need. My relationship with this lady is an interesting one because we used to always meet each other in supermarkets with one child or another in the thing, and I'd say, hi, Maria, how you doing? She'd say, great, you working? I'd say, no. She'd say, are you working? No. And it was
we take each other's work. We've taken each other's work.
Yeah. Then we were up. We have another interesting thing, which is we've all been up for the Emmy.
That's right.
Beside each other. She and I were up.
And we've all won one.
Right.
I won one ignominiously for the Incredible Hulk, but hey, I'll take it.
No ignominious in that department. Oh. It was you and me and Eve Le Gallion, remember?
Oh, that's right. Eva's got it. No, I have to say goodbye. I can't believe it. It went too fast.
Too fast? Is it over?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God. Congratulations. It's lovely. Have a good time.
Thank you.
5 minutes before the hour.
This man is missing nearly 1/2 of the fiber he should have every day. He's not the only one. The National Cancer Institute states that most Americans have diets lacking adequate fiber. Fortunately, just 1 serving of Kellogg's All Bran has the amount of fiber needed to make up what the average person is missing each day. Kellogg's All Bran. It can make all the difference.
We asked 1,000 doctors what would they take for the minor aches, pains, and stiffness of arthritis. Extra strength Tylenol or Bayer?
Bayer.
Doctors chose Bayer 3-to-1 over extra strength Tylenol. Bayer, the wonder drug that works wonders.
Trying to avoid sodium. Switch from regular salt to sodium-free no salt. No salt looks like salt, shakes like salt, flavors like salt. But no salt is sodium-free. No salt, regular and seasoned.
What you're about to see is new to television. We call it personals. It's similar to the tiny advertisements you'd find in the back of many of America's publications. In our personals, you can see the people behind the words. In some cases, you may feel their cry, be embarrassed by their vulnerability, and be reminded what loneliness felt like, if you've forgotten. Now, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, with the help of the Millionaires Club, we will share with you the videotaped hopes of men and women just like us. People who want to tell others about themselves in hopes of not being lonely anymore. Listen.
Hi, I'm Chris. Now, don't take what I'm about to say too literally, because when two people click, they click. Besides, I enjoy all kinds of people. About myself, I'm really pretty easygoing. I like to do almost anything with somebody, except shop. I'm not a shopper. I do like to be active, getting things done, or hiking in the country, canoeing, camping, skiing, things like that. I also like learning things that'll further my career, or something totally new that's caught my attention. I'm a writer. That's what I do for a living. What I'm looking for in a relationship is first a friend and then a lover. Someone to just hang out with who's on the same road, but not so much the same that we can't learn from each other. Above all, I'm interested in finding someone who looks on the bright side of things. The bottom line is, I just want to share with somebody the things that'll make us both happy.
Hi, I'm Brenda. I'm 23 years old, from Pasadena, California, originally from Maine. I own and manage my own daycare business, and I love working with kids. My interests are skiing, I love the beach, and I enjoy camping and the outdoors. My ideal man will hopefully be compassionate, loving, caring, well-mannered, intelligent, and have good morals, as well as being well-educated.
Hello, my name is Al. I'm originally from New Orleans. I've been in Southern California for 13 years. I live a half a block from the ocean and have adapted well to the sunny lifestyle. I play fast-pitch softball, I occasionally like to bowl, and I'll get on a tennis court with almost anyone, anytime. I have a BA in psychology and am currently involved in a form of marketing. I'm looking for an attractive, intelligent lady who's fun, warm, loving, friendly, and slightly athletic. It doesn't matter if she's younger or older, but she must be independent and open to different ideas.
If you are single, 21 or over, interested in meeting someone of the opposite sex, or would like to meet any of the people you've just seen, send your full name with the personal code of the candidate and a stamped self-addressed envelope to the National Processing Center, 2922 East Chapman Avenue, Orange, California, 92669.
Tonight,
Dick has an old flame.
double dating has poor Dick in a dither.
I just hope I'm the one you end up with tonight.
We'll see how you do.
Then on the Kavanaughs,
This is medium starch.
Family Life gives kids the blues.
It's not easy being a Kavanaugh.
Tonight.
This is CBS.
I want to take just a minute here to recall with you some of the people who made 1986 special here in Oklahoma by spending part of it working in the spirit of a better Oklahoma. First, there are the volunteers who pulled together to help victims of October's flood to recover and to rebuild.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We sure appreciate it down here.
Oklahoma farmers showed America what the spirit of sharing is all about. Trainloads of green country hay helped Georgia farmers weather the harshest southern drought in years. And finally, the Texas Playboys deserve a special word of appreciation for over 50 years of Western swing and warm memories, and that one last unforgettable performance. Thanks, guys. Thanks to people like these, we have a better Oklahoma and the promise of a brighter 1987.
Jill Lyons' HealthCast Report, today on Channel 6 News at 5.
Happy anniversary to you.
What
Happy
anniversary?
I'll tell you later.
It's the morning program with Marriott Hartley, Rollin Smith. I'm Bob Saget. Here they are, Marriott and Rollin.
Anniversary tree. This is my national security advisor and sidekick, Bob Saget.
That's right. That's who I am. I'll do anything you say, Marriott. Buy the cake.
Well, she said that she'd tell us later. Is it later now?
Yes, this is, it's our very first anniversary.
We've only been on for a half an hour.
Well, this is our very first half-hour anniversary. Bob, would you make a wish and blow?
Oh, blow. You mean like leave?
Oh, come on. No.
I know. I was just funning with you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make a wish, and this always works. I'm going to pray to the God of morning television. Oh, please. Hey!
Oh, dear. Let's check the weather. Here's Mark McEwen.
All righty. Well, I bet you didn't know yesterday's low temperature in the nation was minus 16 at Jackson, Wyoming, not named after the Jackson 5. It's named after Jackson, Wyoming, a beautiful place to be. Blowing snow and drifting snow over northern New England. Let's put this right up here because there is going to be snow up there. That's going to be ending today, but making for very hazardous traveling conditions. Some parts of Maine had up to 18 inches of snow. Stephen King is from Maine. You think he had anything to do with it? No, never mind. In the heartland, warm and balmy temperatures, 50s and 60s through Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado. And since it's going to be like 65 in Denver today, I'm going to put this right there because they're going to be doing the Super Bowl shuffle in Bermudas today out there. So I figure I'd be there in Bermudas myself. Rain is likely for the northwest coast. That's why that's not a happy cloud. And that's a quick look at the national picture. Now here's the forecast for your neck of the woods.
Good morning, Bob Cooper with your Channel 6 forecast this Monday morning. Unseasonably warm weather is what we'll enjoy with sunshine today, a high near 58 degrees. Overnight, fair and temps in the low 30s. For tomorrow, more sunshine, and again, temperatures near 60.
This portion of the morning program is sponsored by General Foods Corporation.
Well, a big football day yesterday. I'm sure you all saw that. I don't have to tell you, Mariette, did you watch all that football?
Oh, sure. I was sitting around in my T-shirt all day, and I drank a lot of beer, and it was great, Rollin.
Listen, for those of you who don't know, in Cleveland, the visiting Denver Broncos edged the hometown Browns in overtime, 23-20. And Rich Carlissa kicked a 33-yard field goal at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, and the Giants beat the Redskins 17-0. Phil Simms started early with a touchdown pass to Lionel Manuel. And to tell us more about the games and a look ahead to Sunday, January 25th, are two guys who are headed for the Super Bowl themselves. The #1 broadcast team in football, Pat Summerall and John Madden. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us. You know, Jimmy the Greek has said that the Giants are the greatest team in football. Do you agree with that?
Right now, I think you'd have to.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I would think so, too. You know, they did everything that they had to. I mean, there are teams that have come into the Super Bowl, and they haven't had the best record, and they've come in through the wild card and so on. But the Giants were the best in the regular season. They had the best regular season record. And then when they got in the playoffs against the 49ers a week ago, then they beat them 49-3. I think they were just starting to peak. And then they took on the Redskins yesterday and just continued that. And I think you have to say right now, this year, that they have to be the best in football.
Wow. There were some injuries yesterday. Is everybody okay?
I think, you know, when you go to a Super Bowl, you take a guy like Lawrence Taylor. I mean, he has a contusion or something. Contusions will never keep a Lawrence Taylor out of a game. I mean, you know, you need stuff. If you're going to keep him, you need stuff like brakes and stuff to keep him out. But, I mean, contusions won't get it. No, yeah, that won't get it. And stuff like headaches and stuff. He'll be there, and I'm sure that everyone else. I mean, you don't get to the Super Bowl and then say you don't feel well.
Well, they're healthy. How about Joe Morris? How's he faring?
I think Joe's fine. You know, he came back in the game, played fine. I think he's okay. I think, as John said, everybody will be, you got 2 weeks to get ready, and this is probably the biggest event, certainly the biggest event of any of the players' lives, careers. Yeah. They'll be ready.
We were watching it yesterday, and every time, you know, the bad crunches, Mary would say, oh, sorry, I hope he's not hurt. We're watching the game.
How come you only talk to him?
No, I'm talking.
You only talk to him because you don't think I know anything about football. I know the Yankees won yesterday.
There's so many pillows.
I don't know anything about football. I have to tell you. For me to be sitting here and talking to you. By the way, how's John Elway? How good do you think he is?
I think he's, you know, certainly up with one of the best quarterbacks in football today.
That was good.
Should be good now.
I'm impressed.
You both have children, right? You have.
Three,
but you have girls too, right?
One girl.
Is she a jock?
She'd like to be.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah. She can run.
She could run for what?
She's just quick.
And your boys are older, or they're?
Well, you know, compared to what? Yeah.
Compared to me, how old are they?
One is 27, one's 24.
And what do they do?
One is a tennis player at college in Florida, and the other works for the PGA Golf Tour.
I bet you didn't know you were going to get questions like this morning, did you?
I wasn't sure how old they were.
You guys, can we get back to the football for just a moment?
Please, absolutely. STAPLES. When I was a cheerleader, see, I always used to have to ask Lynn Crowder, who was the head of cheerleading, who I was cheering for, but I was a good cheerleader. Go ahead, ask the question.
I'm sure that you were that. How about a prediction for the Super Bowl from both of you?
We haven't seen that much of Denver, although we've done 2 of their games. We've seen a lot of the Giants, and I think Jimmy the Greek said 8 points yesterday or something like that. I'd say maybe 4 or 5, but I'd pick the Giants.
Do you think it's going to be that close?
I do.
No kidding.
John, how about you?
Well, I would think that right now that the Giants are the hottest team in football. And I think the way they're playing, they remind me a lot of the Chicago Bears a year ago. You know, at the end of the season, Pat and I did 5 Bear games. We never saw a team score a touchdown on them. Now, that's as good as you can get if the other guys don't score. And the Giants are doing that type of thing. I mean, the 49ers a week ago got 3, and, you know, a donut yesterday for the Redskins. And I just think that this is the year of the Giants. I really feel that.
I love it when you guys talk tough. I want to ask you one thing. I understand you guys are going out to Pasadena, right?
Right, he's going by train.
And you don't fly. How are you going to get out there, John?
Well, that's the problem. When you don't fly, you can get there. You can get any place you want to go if you don't fly. It just takes longer than the normal people. And
how are you planning to do it?
I'm leaving today. I'm leaving tonight.
Are you walking, John?
Out of here? No, we go out of here, Lakeshore Limited, right through the prison, and into Chicago, and then Denver, and then that weather map that you got out there. We go right, you know, if you take the weather map right through the middle of it, go on train, get there Thursday.
You know, there are classes for that. I mean, you can get help. You know that, John. Let me tell you about it. Now, you can actually
John
get help.
Madden, Pat Summerall, thank you very much for being with us today. Coming up next, Robert Osborne, the Hollywood Reporter, with Who's News and Personal Health and Medicine with Dr. Robert Arnott and Sophia Loray.
I love Graham on dry cleaning quality and prices. Expensive dry cleaning is yesterday's myth. Now, there's something new in dry cleaning called love. Love is chemistry. So is dry cleaning. You can afford our chemistry, 4 low-cost stores, and 10% discount after January 1st. With us, you feel loved, not taken to the cleaners. We're the cleaners with the heart. Feel loved.
If you're experiencing blurred or cloudy vision, having trouble driving or watching television, you may have cataracts. Many older folks put off treatment of cataracts because they're afraid of the cost. If you're over 65 and on Medicare, you may qualify for virtually free cataract implant surgery. Your sight is so precious, and there's still a lot to see. Call now to schedule your free cataract examination. Don't put it off. Call today.
Mariette, excuse me. Whatever happened to that Polaroid you took of me?
Oh, let me see. Well, it should be back here somewhere. Here it is. I blew it up already. This is my heavenly thing. Well, you look just like Jimmy Garner. Okay. See. That camera only takes pictures of Jimmy Garner. Every day at this time, our Who's News segment. Oh, I really love this part. Here's our Who's News editor, Hollywood reporter, columnist, and friend, Robert Osborne. Hello, Robert.
Welcome back.
Who's News, Robert?
Well, over the weekend, Sophia Loren and Kirk Douglas received American Cinema Awards in Los Angeles. It's a fairly new award thing that a guy named David Guest started, a very energetic young guy, mainly to raise money for various functions and charities and everything having to do with the motion picture industry.
Oh, what charities are they kind of involved with?
Well, this one, they gave a big check on Friday night to the motion picture home.
Oh, that's one,
boy,
that's one of the greatest
Yeah,
charities.
but the thing that was great were the people that were there. There were a lot of people there, a whole big mixture of Hollywood's past and present president. We have some films, I think. Jimmy Stewart was there. He was among the people. Do we have the pictures? Yeah, there's Jimmy Stewart arriving. Also, Jane Seymour is coming up in a minute. Jane Seymour looking gorgeous, may I say.
Yes.
When doesn't she? Maxwell Caulfield from the Colbys and his wife Juliette Mills, Eve Arden. Robert Wagner, who was one of the co-hosts of the evening, along with Michael Douglas, who presented the award to his dad, Kirk Douglas. And Sylvester Stallone was there to give Sophia her award. But the big hoopla of the night came when Sophia arrived on the arm of Michael Jackson.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
The cameramen really went crazy. Michael agreed, as a matter of fact, to come only on the condition that he arrive with Sophia and sit with Sophia. And arrive and sit he did. And doesn't she look smashing?
Hey, he's no dummy, you know what I mean?
Hey, I know, yes.
Hey.
You know, she spends a lot of time at his house when she's in L.A., yeah.
And I just left there. I didn't know
Left
that.
his house?
No,
Yeah.
no, I left near where he lives. I used to live there. Oh,
Well,
gosh.
he has a lot of interesting people over there. Elizabeth Taylor goes over a lot to watch movies, and Katharine Hepburn, and he's got a whole big Disneyland in the backyard.
And he has that zoo back there, too.
Zoo, yeah, and they show movies and cartoons and everything like that.
Well,
He's a great movie fan, you know.
charming.
It was very fun at the evening.
You mean Katharine Hepburn really says, I want to see my
wanna see
favorite
movies.
cartoon. Show me the Saturday mornings.
Yes, indeed.
Yogi Berra is my
Well, that's
favorite.
very good. I'm trying to guess who
I'm
that is
sorry.
you're doing. Anyway, it was great fun watching Michael Jackson, who's a great movie fan, at the thing, going around grabbing Sophia and going and getting Donald O'Connor's autograph and people like that. That was fun.
Donald O'Connor.
Tomorrow I'm going to
Yes.
talk about Betty Davis, Bruce Willis, and give you an update on some of those people.
We're going to dish a little bit more tomorrow?
Well, if you
I mean,
want to
enough
dish.
of awards. I mean,
You
for
like to
heaven's
dish.
sake. You like to dish? That's dishing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, tomorrow
I've
we'll
learned.
dish.
Right.
Okay.
Really are.
Goodbye. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
Up next, national and local news, then Dr. Bob Arnott and Sophia Loren, and later, freshman Congressman Joseph Kennedy II.
It's the way we start the morning, the way we close a deal. It's the way we share a secret, the way we end a meal. Drinking all kind of coffee, good to the last drop. Hey, only Maxwell has fresh flavor. Tastes like coffee made our way. Only Maxwell has fresh flavor. Tastes like coffee made our way. It's the way we write a letter, the way we set the stage. It's the way we break the winner's safe, no matter what our age. Drinking all kind of coffee, good to the last drop. Hey, only Maxwell has fresh flavor. Tastes like coffee made our way. Only Maxwell has fresh flavor. Tastes like coffee made our way. Only Maxwell has fresh
Aren't you lucky to live in America? When I have a taste for the world's great chicken dishes, I have to use my passport. Your passport, however, is Tyson chicken entrees. Delicious international meals like Tyson chicken cannelloni. Tremendously tantalizing. And fortunately, Tyson prepares chicken in so many delicious ways. Tyson is the only passport you need for a world of great tastes. Perhaps I should move to the States.
Do you know someone who's feeling a little down? Send them an FTD pick-me-up bouquet. Its flowers, rainbow coffee mug, and tote bag are the perfect way to get them feeling back on solid ground again. And only your FTD florist has it.
Is urate acid strong enough?
No, and it's even a leading plus brand.
Try Double Strength Mylanta 2 with ounce for ounce nearly double the acid neutralizing power of any leading plus brand.
Now that's strength.
Mylanta 2.
It's 15 minutes after the hour.
We'll meet our personal health and medicine correspondent, Dr. Bob Arnott, in this half hour and find out how different foods produce different emotional foods and moods. But first, let's go to CBS News and Faith Daniels. Good morning, Faith.
Good morning, Roland. Good morning, everyone. A new mission is underway this morning to free the hostages in Lebanon. Church envoy Terry Waite is now back in Beirut putting fears for his own safety aside. The American Arms for Hostages controversy will dominate President Reagan's first day back on the job. Doctors want him to take it slow, but yet another twist in the plot is out. The New York Times reports that the U.S. gave doctored military intelligence data to both Iran and Iraq. The reported idea was to keep either side from getting the upper hand in their war. But Iranian missiles have hit 2 key Iraq cities in renewed fighting. Iraq answered the attack with airstrikes in Iran. Both sides report heavy casualties, the death and injury toll in the thousands. The current fighting is some of the worst in the 7-year conflict. Much of Europe is gripped with record or near record cold. Sub-zero temperatures are the rule in much of northern Europe, forcing some transportation to a standstill. Temperatures in Moscow have dropped to 40 degrees below zero. 48 deaths were blamed on faulty heaters. Even sunny Italy did not escape the snow. A new health warning this morning about heart attacks. If your doctor has warned you that you're prone to have a heart attack, you might want to take it a little extra easy in the hours after you wake up. That's when a new report says people are likely to have an attack.
Early in the morning, your body is trying to respond to the challenge, really, of waking up. And that may seem trivial, but it's one of the most profound challenges which the body faces each day.
Some doctors are advising coronary patients to take their medication at night for extra protection in the morning. Federal safety officials today will try to recreate the conditions that led to the January 4th Amtrak crash that killed 15 people. They'll conduct a test run of 3 Conrail locomotives at the spot where the accident occurred. They want to know if the sun could have prevented the Conrail engineer from seeing a warning signal that should have prevented the crash. A government report out today will call for federal job counseling and retraining for more than 1 million Americans a year. It comes from a presidential advisory panel which studied the problem of jobs lost because of imports and changes in the U.S. economy. Program cost about $1 billion a year. And finally, there was a battle royal in England this weekend, but Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip were not able to convince their son, Prince Edward, to stay in the Royal Marines. This morning, Edward broke with tradition, and Buckingham Palace said he's quitting. No word yet on his future plans. That's the latest. I'm Faith Daniels.
Live, this is KOTV, Channel 6 News Morning Update.
I'm Robert Jaffe, Channel 6 News. Good morning. Clear skies, we have 30 degrees in Tulsa. In just a few hours, Henry Bellman will be sworn in as Oklahoma's 23rd governor. Bellman, who held the state's chief executive office over 20 years ago, will take his oath of office on the steps of the state capitol just after noon. The state's budget will be his first priority. He's entering the office with a projected $363 million budget shortfall. Most Republican members of the legislature expect Bellman will renew a spirit of cooperation between the legislature and the governor's office. Walter Hill, the new Republican leader in the House, says it will be the efforts of Bellman, the legislature, and the people to solve Oklahoma's problems. Senator Jerry Smith, the new Senate leader, says he expects there'll be some confrontations with Bellman on key issues. Representatives from several environmental groups are expected to be on hand today to oppose the expansion of the Sequoia Fields uranium conversion plant near Gore. The hearing was to have taken place a year ago, but it was delayed after an accident at the plant killed 1 person and injured more than 30. The hearing will be conducted by an administrative judge for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. The environmental groups have filed hundreds of pages of documents opposing the operation of the plant. Well, our weather forecast is a bit on the warm side. Currently, we do have 30 degrees. Today, we're expecting sunny skies and a high of 60. Here's a look at that forecast for the next few days. Tuesday, a high of 60. Wednesday, partly cloudy and 52. Thursday, dropping down a bit, but still warm for this time of year, 49 degrees. There will be a complete wrap-up of today's news, weather, and sports coming up with Glenda Sylvia at noon. I'm Robert Jaffe. Go out and make it a great day.
You saw a price like this on a 3-piece living room
30 years or so ago, I reckon. Guess that old fool Grandpa John's mind's done gone again.
I know that. Thinks it's 1950, don't he?
He does.
Yeah,
Pretty sure know that there Paul's right up to date.
Oh, yeah, and modern, too. I know that.
I know that. Folks, get yourself a 1950 price on a 1986 model living room suit at Grandpa John's one-man furniture store.
Right next to the Kmart on Admiral. He wants to see you today.
1950 prices goes way to love folks.
ABC Baby Furniture and Infant Wear's famous January sale is underway. Come on in.
It's ABC's biggest sale of the year with the biggest savings. All Welsh cribs, $99 or less. Choose from 22 different styles. Travel type car seat, $39. All winter clothing, 40% off. ABC guarantees the lowest prices on all Simmons hardwood furniture. And all bedding, 20% off. Store-wide reduction, so hurry for best selection. ABC, the little people's store where you always save more.
The Personal Health and Medicine segment is sponsored by Advil for headaches, muscle aches, fever, backaches. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
We are going to begin our very first personal health and medicine segment with a quickie quiz. True or false, you are what you eat. Okay, enough time. It's true, according to our very own family doctor, Robert Arnott. Oh, my, did you see this time?
Morning, doctor.
Woo!
If that's really true, are we what we eat?
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting is that we really are what we eat. Now, this idea of food and mood is something we do every day. For instance, you take a candy bar to sort of pick yourself up, take a glass of milk to go to sleep at night. Those turn out to be old wives' tales. It turns out that milk actually will keep us up at night, and a candy bar is after sort of calm us down. Now, there's a scientific basis for it. We have things called neurotransmitters that make us happy and sad and whatnot. A neurotransmitter is just a big word for chemical in our brain. And it just makes sense if you get the right kinds of foods that they make certain amino acids that then go and make a chemical that could make you happy or sad. Now, it's the very beginning part of this field, but it seems to work pretty well.
What are some of those foods that control the moods, then?
Well, there are really two different kinds of foods, either proteins or carbohydrates. And let's start out here.
All right. Come on, why don't you move over?
If you want to feel more alert and aggressive, say for a morning show like this, you really want to be tough, then about 3 to 4 ounces of lean protein will do it. Something like this for breakfast.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Gosh, can you imagine eating fish
or
for breakfast?
lean chicken.
And at 3:30 in the morning, too. Wow. Oh.
If you want to calm yourself down, if you feel that you really need to sort of calm yourself down.
For me?
Right.
Okay,
Then
what do I
you
eat?
need are what we call junk carbos.
You're kidding me.
Those are carbohydrates like these. Now, in the middle of the afternoon, I'm often caught in this building with things like candy bars and soft drinks. And I usually think...
Hold on.
No,
you've got it sewn together. He usually has those little gummy bears. Go ahead.
But in any case, I use the classic Twinkie defense. I tell people that I'm medicating myself, that when in the middle of the afternoon I feel a little edgy perhaps, a little bored, can't concentrate on a task, then I take some carbohydrates.
Instead of Ritalin.
Instead of Ritalin. That will then calm me down. Now, if you don't like junk carbos because they are junk carbos and they have no nutritional value in them, then grains, breads, cereals, rice, these kinds of things have minerals and vitamins in them, and they will do the same job. But what you want to do is, since these act more slowly, if you know at 4 in the afternoon you tend to get a little jittery or can't quite concentrate on your taxes, plan to eat it early. Plan about 3:30 to have a little carbohydrate snack.
But what if you have like hyperglycemia or something like that? And I've heard that these kind of things pop you up way high and then they drop you very low, kind of like coffee. And hyperkinetic kids are never supposed to eat this kind of stuff. So it's completely opposite from what I've ever heard.
The interesting thing is that sugars are not harmful if you don't have diabetes and you're not hyperkinetic. In fact, they've never shown that it does make you more hyperkinetic. But for a normal individual, you're probably better off having these anyhow.
Or the bran muffin or something like that.
I did want to say, if you want to read more about this, it's available in this book called Managing Your Mind and Mood Through Food. And people ask all the time, does this stuff really work? Well, it's a highly controversial area, but Judy Wortman, who wrote this book, is at MIT, and she's really a terrific researcher, and it seems to work pretty well.
Just quickly, Bob, parents used to tell us to eat fruit instead of candy bars in the afternoon.
Well, the interesting thing is that fruit doesn't work. I mean, fruit's terrific for you, but it's the wrong kind of carbohydrate. You're better off having a cookie, a little rice, some pasta, or a bagel.
And get fat. That's one thing. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
If you liked Dr. Bob this morning, you're going to absolutely love him tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day.
What Mary is really trying to say is that the good doctor will be with us every morning at this time, unless, of course, he's out on house calls.
And if you have any questions for Dr. Bob, please write in, and we'll try to answer some of them on air. Send your letters to Dr. Bob Arnott, care of the morning program, 524 West 57th Street, New York, New York,
101.9.
Stay with us now for a second cup and Sophia Loren. Oh, gosh, no,
When you have arthritis, mornings can be nightmares. Some days it hurts just to put on a watch.
Today, people are turning from aspirin to Advil for hours of relief from minor arthritis pain. Advil contains a non-prescription strength of ibuprofen, the medicine doctors have prescribed over 130 million times in prescription brands like Motrin.
Advil works for hours, and that makes mornings much easier.
For minor arthritis pain, muscle aches, even headaches, Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Is cotton the moment your own? Abandon yourself to the feel. So comfortable, easy and calm. Embrace the feeling. Take comfort in cotton.
Find the True Performance label on Hager Prestige All Cotton and Natural Blend Slacks for men and women.
This is dedicated to the ones we love.
You know what your problem is, Eric?
Alice?
You're 43 years old, and you still eat cold pizza and donuts for breakfast.
So that's it.
All that sugar, all those preservatives.
Hold it. Should I try Nutri-Grain?
Delicious Nutri-Grain, only the whole grain, with no preservatives and no sugar added.
Goodbye.
Oh, wait. Does this mean you love me?
Yes.
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain cereal.
Dedicated to the ones we love.
So these are Tyson chicken chunks. Mmm, golden crispy outside. 100% tender chicken inside. Mmm, delicious.
Tyson chicken chunks. Great tasting chicken in a bite-sized chunk.
Sometimes cooking gets a little messy. That's why Whirlpool ranges are easy to clean, with cooktops that wipe up quickly and ovens that do the cleaning for you, all to make your world a little easier.
Whirlpool.
It's 28 minutes after the hour.
Have you gotten used to getting up early yet?
Oh, not yet.
No?
I will. It's a complete about face for me. I used to go to bed at 3:30. Now I get up at 3:30.
No, well, you didn't. Oh, Daisy! Hello, sweetheart. Hello. Hi, Daisy. This is Daisy. This is Daisy. Oh, is she beautiful? And we got her all curried and everything, and then she rolled in the mud in Central Park yesterday.
Oh, great.
So she's
That's
just
great.
fine. You had her curried? I mean, isn't that?
Curried and ived.
Oh, that's
curried and
I never used to like
You didn't
curry,
say
but
that, did you?
I
I didn't say that. Oh, she's
man.
so glad to be here.
We'll meet her in just a few moments. In our next half hour, Sophia Loren and Congressman Joseph Kennedy II.
For tickets to the morning program, please write the morning program, CBS Ticket Information Bureau, 524 West 57th Street, New York, New York, 10019.
Tomorrow night, the war is over. A world has changed. Passions run hard. A new beginning is made.
God is my wit. I'll never be hungry again.
A love is renewed. A conflict begins. The conclusion of Gone with the Wind. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
If you're nearsighted or have astigmatism and have a problem wearing contacts or glasses, a new microsurgical procedure called radial keratotomy could make you less dependent on your glasses or contacts. Radial keratotomy can usually be performed on an outpatient basis in about 15 minutes. But radial keratotomy isn't for everyone, and your decision should be made after a complete examination by an ophthalmologist. Call now to schedule your eye exam. There's no charge for the initial consultation.
In the next session of Divorce Court.
Right away, she started making noises about being bored and wanting to go back to being a Sharkette.
Teddy wouldn't let me do it. He said he'd miss me too much. That's when I realized he just was keeping me around for display.
Donna started inviting all her football friends over to the mansion. And the dumb jocks were treating my house like a locker room.
I came home and I found him splashing around in the backyard with Pam and Glinda, a couple of Sharkettes.
Divorce Court, Monday at 1:30 on Channel 6. Magnum, today at 3 on Channel 6.
she?
She's about 6, and she has 3 expressions. You want to see them when she's not asleep? This is her hungover expression. Oh, poor Jade. This is her when she gets really ferocious. Right?
That's not
and
bad.
this is her smiling one. Oh, but she's smiling.
That doesn't hurt her to pull her face like
yes,
that?
Yes, it does, but I'm into that.
She's also shy. So is Daisy.
I'd like you to pull on my face later. Just mold it.
Mark, what's the weather doing for us?
Well, let's get over here and tell you all about the weather. Walk on over to the map. It's kind of a shame we brought Daisy out today. We could have had her out for the dog days of summer. Oh, that's a bad joke. Oh, shoot me, please. That heavy snow that dumped up to 18 inches of snow over northern New England has finally ended. There's going to be a lot of blowing of that snow, so you're going to shovel the driveway. 5 minutes later, it's going to be full again. So watch out up there, please. Very hazardous traveling conditions. Big story today is you see a lot of sunshine all over the country. The high today in Miami is going to be 67. The high in San Antonio, Texas, my hometown, is going to be 64 today. And since there's so much sun, I was going to put this here. We'll put it right there in Denver. And that is me having a good time with the sun in Denver. It's going to reach the mid-60s by this afternoon. Later on today, a little bit of rain, which is going to move into Idaho. So watch out if you're watching in the Idaho area. That's a quick look at the national forecast. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning. Bob Cooper with your Channel 6 forecast this Monday morning. Unseasonably warm weather is what we'll enjoy with sunshine today, a high near 58 degrees. Overnight, fair and temps in the low 30s. For tomorrow, more sunshine, and again, temperatures near 60.
And that's the weather up to the moment. This portion of the morning program is sponsored by Johnson & Johnson, where quality products have been a tradition for generations.
Putting this program together has been a lot like giving birth. Something else I've done once in a Honda. You know all about that, Daisy, don't you? Anyway, it's the birthday of our program, and we want to share that joy with another brand new life. A baby who was also born this morning right here in New York City. Let's go live to NYU Medical Center to meet our special morning program baby and parents.
There they are.
Oh,
my goodness.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your baby was born just as we wake up. How did the birth go?
Very difficult, but quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
You know, Maria, we are talking to Bonnie and Ken Selterman.
It's okay.
Oh, is it a little boy or a little girl?
Little boy.
And what's his name?
Kai.
Kai?
Kai.
Do you have any other names for it? Like Rolland or Bob or Mariette? Or... We thought it'd be named the morning program, you know, but...
Oh, it's cute.
Can you say Saget?
So, did you have your baby naturally, or was it...
Very naturally.
Very naturally. About as naturally as we did, huh?
Did you really give birth in a Honda?
I really did. I really did, and my husband forgot where the actual place was where we were supposed to enter, and we ended up having it almost on the street.
Yeah, Bonnie and Ken, where are you guys from?
New York.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a lawyer.
We're going to be following this little baby for hopefully years to come. How are you going to raise this baby? You're going to let him cry, obviously, through every television show that you... No. How are you planning? Are you going to breastfeed?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Oh, we picked the right family, I have a feeling. They picked us. Gee, that's great.
Did anybody give you any pieces of advice on how to raise children?
My mother constantly.
No kidding.
A lot of other people too, but I feel pretty confident that what we do naturally is right.
And that baby's going to lead you all the way, believe me. I have one piece of advice. Love the kid a lot and take a lot of pictures.
Yeah, we do that.
Polaroid.
Yeah.
No, not Polaroid. Knock it off.
Even an artist's sketch would be okay.
He's not my first. We have another one at home.
Oh, you do?
We have a beautiful little boy who's 2 years and 8 months.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for being such good sports.
Bonnie and Ken Selterman. Thank you. When we return, Sophia Loren, humorous Roy Blunt Jr. and Congressman Joseph Kennedy II.
So exciting.
Well, the 4-hour cough medicine didn't last me through the day.
I know.
The 6-hour didn't last me through the night.
I know, Alan.
Why doesn't somebody invent it?
A 12-hour cough medicine? Somebody has, Alan.
Discover 12-hour Delsum. Only Delsum has a patented timed release formula that lasts up to 12 hours for hours more relief than regular cough medicine. Each dose helps you work all day and sleep all night. 12-hour Delsum, the cough relief that outlasts them all.
Terrific.
2 a.m. I've got to get some Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Nitol helps you feel drowsy so you can get your Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Why is my antacid Tums? Tums is effective. It neutralizes 1/3 more stomach acid than the other leading brand. And Tums is rich in calcium. To me, that's extra good news.
It's 36 minutes after the hour.
It's time now for our Living Better feature, where each day we'll be exploring emotional relationships, coping, or etiquette, but not this morning for a very special reason. This is Robert Osborne, excuse me, Bob, our entertainment editor and friend whom you met earlier. And speaking of living better, folks, guess where he just got back from?
Oh,
how is Los Angeles? Tell me.
It's very nice,
Is
but
it
it
nice?
was kind of nice because I really kind of felt in a way I was coming home when I came here.
But you had a wonderful interview with Sophia
Wonderful
Loren.
interview with Sophia Loren, and I want to take you into that now. Here's part 1 of my visit with Sophia Loren.
Oh.
There's no Italian actors, or very few foreign actresses, that have ever made the impact in the United States that you have. Does that make you feel a part of the United States at all, or do you still feel like a foreigner when you come here?
No, I think that in the United States, I feel that I'm really very much loved here. And I have at every moment signs of love in this country anytime I come here, anytime. They love me very much, they greet me beautifully, and there are signs of love everywhere when I come here. It's beautiful. I feel at home here.
You're one of the paradoxes, too, that women love Sophia Loren and men love Sophia Loren. Always get a great reaction. Have you ever tried to analyze why you have been so popular with both the sexes as an actress?
I never ask myself this kind of questions. I don't really know. Maybe because I've been successful in roles that many women could identify themselves in, which were very quiet roles, not roles of sexy, sexy, sexy women. So the husbands couldn't be, you know. I don't know. I have no idea why. Maybe because I'm a nice person. I never thought of it. Maybe because I'm a very nice person.
And an honest person, I think. I
And
think
I think I am, now that you make me think of it. Maybe they like me because I'm nice, yes.
You look terrific. How do you take care of yourself and look so good? What do you do?
I rest. I think I exercise a little bit. I think I eat proper food. I think I avoid smoking. I avoid alcohol. I avoid little vices. And I sleep a lot. That's all.
When did you first realize that you were attractive and that you had a certain power over us with your attractiveness?
Never.
You've never realized
I still don't know.
Is this coming as a shock to you?
Yeah, very shocked. I'm very shocked that you.
Nobody's ever told you were attractive before.
Yeah, but I mean, I never based my profession on my attractiveness. I always tried to do in my career something that was absolutely out of the sex symbol, of the beauty. If you imagine that I was 26 when I did Two Women, which was not a sexy role, and then I did Marriage Italian Style, which was not a sexy role, and then I did Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, which was not a sexy role. A Special Day was not a sexy role. So really, I mean, when I started in this career, I was considered a sex symbol, but of course, my mind was elsewhere. My mind was on being an actress. So I concentrated on the things that were good for my career, for my profession, to be able to achieve my goal. And my goal was to become an actress with capital A. And I think I've succeeded.
You succeeded.
Don't you think so?
Yes, you succeeded
Good.
very well. But I saw you walk in the Paramount commissary one day, and it would be hard to believe that you did not know the effect you were having on everybody in that
I was a
commissary.
kid then. I was 20 years old.
Do you have a philosophy of life? Something that you could pass on to the rest of us? That's...
You mean leave me in peace and not in pieces? Something like that.
Yes, indeed. Something that maybe somebody told you somewhere along the line that means a lot to you, that gets you through tough times, or that you hang on to?
I don't know. I mean, you ask me something that it's impossible to answer. I think that I do whatever I think it's best for the others in life, and then if I can get a little bit of it, then I'm very thankful.
Oh, life isn't fair. Well, she's beautiful. She's intelligent.
Well, so are you.
Okay, then she can come back tomorrow and do part 2.
All right.
Part 2 tomorrow with Sophia Loren.
Very good.
Thank you, Robert.
My pleasure.
Del Monte asked 3 people with a taste for something different and exciting which drink has the blend of flavors they've been looking for.
Del Monte, pineapple grapefruit.
Del Monte pineapple orange.
Del Monte pineapple mandarin.
Del Monte Pineapple Blends, the light, refreshing taste that isn't light on nutrition. Del Monte Pineapple Blends, anytime. It's the sensible alternative. We grow refreshment.
Put on the plus.
Now, help prevent dry, chapped lips with new Chapstick Petroleum Jelly Plus. Plus aloe, plus lanolin, plus a special angled tip. New Chapstick Petroleum Jelly Plus.
Put on the plus.
Robitussin Night Relief not only puts your cold to sleep, it lets you wake up feeling better and ready to go. Night Relief, the nighttime cold medicine from Robitussin.
Women have such busy schedules today with their work
Now input your code.
and their families. There's no time for irregularity.
Come on, Mom, we'll have fun. Not just now. Okay.
Yet women suffer from constipation 3 times more often than men. That's why there's Correctol. Its special formula with calcium added combines a mild laxative with a softening agent. It works gently overnight to help you feel like yourself again.
Your sir's really improved, Mom.
Correctol, the gentle laxative so many women prefer.
College can be a lonely place your first year, especially if no one seems to care it's your birthday.
Feeling bad. Feeling sad. Don't make a fuss. You got us.
Amazing what a card can do when you're feeling blue. When you care enough to send the very best, go to Hallmark.
It's 17 minutes before the hour.
Our next guest is really not a guest at all.
Then why are we introducing
Well,
him?
because he's family.
Oh.
Roy Blunt Jr. will be with us each and every Monday at this time in our Across America segment.
Roy is an author and humorist, a poet and songwriter, and no kidding, the self-appointed national chairman of the Society for the Singing Impaired. Roy's got a unique and slightly wacky perspective on, well, you know, every family has them. Hi, Roy.
Welcome, Roy. Roy, I understand there's something you think is worthwhile coming out of all this Iran-Contra affair.
No. But I say that only to illustrate my point, which is that there is something useful come out of all of this, and that's deniability. The Reagan administration has reportedly conceded that it has its policy in foreign affairs is plausible deniability. I mean, plausible means, you know, well, yeah, maybe, you know, and deniability means, for instance, if an administration, say, is accused of something, and it's the truth, what the administration says first is, nothing could be further from the truth. You know.
Right.
Then if some evidence comes in, they can shift down a little bit to, well, some things could be further from the truth. And then you can go on to, well, quite a few things could be further from the truth. And then eventually you can say, well, it is the truth, but we didn't know it was the truth. And at any rate, the president didn't know it was the truth. And certainly there are no documents showing that the president told his wife. You know, you've got all these different levels. What deniability means basically is we don't see any way you can prove it, at least not right away. And my feeling is that the usefulness of this is that a lot of other people outside the administration could use it. Say, for instance, the telephone company calls you up and says, you haven't paid your bill in 2 months, you owe us $280. Well, there are different ways you could act. You could say, oh, well, I meant to pay it. Listen, no. It's not the way to do it. The thing to do it is to say, nothing could be further from the truth. and then that confuses them for a little bit. And they say, what do you mean by that? And you say, well, I think my words speak for themselves. That can be it. And then you just keep working your way down until finally they say, listen, all right, you've got a telephone, right? And you say, no, first I've heard of it. I don't, news to me. And they say, what do you mean? You know, we're talking to you on your telephone. And you say, that's where you really have to hang tough. You say, that's your opinion. So you can just keep working it down, and that confuses them. And there are a lot of different phone companies out there, so you got a little play there. So, you know, I think if the administration can use it, why can't we use it? In fact, I worked up a little song, as in fact the national chairman of the singing impaired, I have a little singing impaired song, goes like this. Say you've been cheating on your diet, or you went out and started a riot. All you have to do is just deny it. Deniability, you don't have to have no humility if you've got deniability. And remember, you didn't hear it from me.
That's wonderful.
Some people might say there's something unethical about it. And to that I say, no, there's not anything unethical.
There's not a word of truth about it.
Right. And if there is something unethical about it, you didn't hear it from me. And at any rate, I haven't been myself lately, and I'm certainly not on television.
Oh, thank you for coming. Coming up next, freshman Congressman Joseph Kennedy II. And that's the truth.
Please stay tuned for the most amazing TV jewelry offer in Pools' Fifth Avenue history. Right now, in a $1 million publicity campaign to gain new friends, Pools is giving away this exclusive designer heirloom collection featuring an exquisite commemorative 2-ring set, blazing with more than 2 carats of fiery faux diamonds and layered in genuine 14-karat gold. Plus this magnificent set of 4 heavy French rope chains, all layered in 14-karat gold. Plus these tri-tone rings and these tri-tone bangles layered in 14-karat gold. Plus these beautiful faux diamond stud earrings and this stunning solitaire necklace, all yours in this incredible publicity campaign from Pools. But you don't pay $17,000 or even $1,700 because if you're one of the first 1,000 people to call right now, we'll send you all 17 pieces of jewelry for just $17 complete. The designer heirloom collection featuring the magnificent commemorative 2-ring set, 4 heavy French rope chains, 3 tri-tone rings, 6 tri-tone bangle bracelets, and the faux diamond earrings and necklace, all layered in genuine 14-karat gold, all for just $17 complete on our money-back guarantee of satisfaction. But you must order now.
Get all 17 pieces for just $17. COD and credit card orders call 1-800-253-1600. That's 1-800-253-1600. To save COD fees, use your credit card or send $17 plus $2 postage to 17-piece jewelry, 568 Lincoln Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Offer is limited to the first 1,000 callers who call now. 1-800-253-1600.
Hello, I'm Bill Tegans.
And I'm Jill Lyon. Look what KOTV has reeled in for 1987.
It's Channel 6 Fishing Tackle Night at the Boat Sport and Travel Show on Expo Square.
Wednesday, January 28th, KOTV will have 3 fishing lures for the first 3,000 visitors to our KOTV booth.
Then we'll tackle the news live from the deck of a huge cruiser.
Catch the fishing spirit Wednesday, January 28th at the Tulsa Boat Sport and Travel Show.
Share the spirit with Channel 6.
I don't think that there's much doubt that in our time, Kennedy is the most famous name in American politics. Now there's a new Kennedy in Washington. He's the nephew of the late president and the son of the late senator. His name is Joe Kennedy II. He's 34 years old, and he's the new congressman from Massachusetts. Welcome, Congressman Kennedy. Congressman, are people treating you differently in Washington because you're a Kennedy?
Oh, I don't think they're treating me any differently because I'm a Kennedy. The fact is that there are a whole range of new freshman congressmen. One fellow's been the governor of the state of Maine, another who's been the Speaker of the House in Maryland, and many really highly qualified individuals. So amongst the other congressmen and women in this country, I think they more or less take a wait-and-see attitude.
What about the office space?
The office space.
We heard you got terrible offices.
Well, anyway,
well, that's from a lot of
just as long as they don't muzzle you out on the floor, they can put me in whatever office they want.
I wanted to ask you a personal question. I've also had in my life kind of a violent, unexpected death as a result of guns. And my feelings about guns changed radically. I was wondering about your feelings about guns.
Well, I obviously with the kind of tragedy that has taken place in our family, I really feel very strongly that that we ought to have controls on our guns in this country. That there are just far too many people. A vast majority of all the murders that are committed in the United States are committed in acts of passion between loved ones, and it simply is a situation where there happens to be a gun lying around versus another type of weapon which wouldn't do near as much damage. So I just, you know, the major gun legislation was passed just after my father was killed in this country, and yet that's been undone in the last year or so. So one of the things that I'd like to do in Washington, D.C. is to see whether or not, we don't want to be taking guns away from the hunters and the like, but it does seem to me that just these Saturday night specials that people can just pick up and kill another human being, I just think it's outrageous.
Yes, so do I.
When you first run into Congress and get into Congress, there's probably several goals that you want to have. Besides the one you just mentioned, what else would you like to accomplish?
Well, I think that what we've seen over the course of the last few years is really an abandonment of the nation's federal government to the responsibilities of investing in our middle class and in our poor. Essentially, we've written them off. We see a new budget that's just come out that essentially is slashing so much aid to education. If we're going to have a future in this country of well-educated young people that are going to be aggressively going out and trying to develop the United States in world markets, we've got to invest in education. We've got to invest in affordable housing. We've got to invest in affordable health care. These are not programs that are giveaway programs or the big spender democratic programs that people like to refer to. This is just a basic investment in our country's future. And I think to simply be passing along our debt so that we can be doubling our Defense Department budget to our children is an outrage, and I think that it's time that the American people woke up and recognized what was really taking place over the course of the last 6 years.
Speaking of passing things on to children, I, as an outsider, have always felt that the Kennedy clan geared their offspring toward social consciousness, but there was a tremendous discipline in the family. Was there a great intimacy in your upbringing, and do you plan to pass that on to your twins?
Well, of course, I don't know as I'd like to consider intimacy and necessarily the kind of discipline you're talking about, but nevertheless, I think that you know, really what there is love, and that's the most important aspect, and at least in bringing up the set of twins who are now 6 years old, it seems to me the most overriding aspect is to just give them love and the kind of attention that they need.
You're here. I'll tell you, you have vowed in Congress to keep a low profile, Congressman. Is that possible for you to do?
Well, here I am.
Here you are. Hey, so much for the fullness.
I think I should take a lesson from that guy who was just on your show a couple minutes ago.
I don't know nothing about it. Your wife wasn't that thrilled about you going into politics. Have you resolved that?
Well, I think that Sheila was, first of all, she's just been tremendously and terrifically supportive of me. I think she was just realistic about the fact that politics takes an incredible amount of time away from your family. I mean, with this job, even winning it, the benefit is that you're away from home for at least 3, if not 4 days a week. And with 2 little boys and with the hopes that perhaps there might be more children in our family, it is obviously a very, very demanding profession. So I think she was just recognizing that it was going to be a tremendous amount of time away from home, and she was being realistic about it. But once I decided that that's what I really wanted to do, she
was okay.
She's been terrific.
Your sister going to run again?
Kathleen.
Yeah. Real quick, like,
Kathleen.
real quick, like, did you get any advice from your Uncle Ted?
I got plenty. Well, Teddy speaks, he doesn't have to say much to get his point across. Yes, I did.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Thanks a lot for being with us this morning.
Appreciate it.
Congressman Kennedy.
You did a thing, cuisine, you gave me something I really like. More satisfaction. You did a thing, cuisine, you gave me a way to eat right. Eat right. More satisfaction. You did it, lean cuisine. You gave me more, much more. You gave me more. You gave me taste I never had before. Lean cuisine. More satisfaction with you.
That'll do it. Who wants grapefruit juice?
I'll pass.
It's good for you. It's great for dieting.
I know, but
Lots of vitamin C.
Yeah, but
But the taste? Here, try this. Ocean Spray Pink Grapefruit Juice Cocktail. It's tangy, smoother, sweeter.
this is grapefruit juice?
Uh-huh.
It's not bitter.
Uh-uh. It's Ocean Spray Pink Grapefruit Juice Cocktail. And it's not just good for you, it's good. Ocean Spray good.
We had a daisy that she sheds. Oh, look at
I'm
this.
so sorry. And my sweater, right? Oh, gee.
Password is Lynn.
Well, this has had a
been a
lovely
fun
feeling.
first morning,
I
hasn't it?
can't believe it's over.
Oh.
I hope you've had as much fun as we have.
Tomorrow on the morning program, part 2 of Robert Osborne's visit with Sophia Loren, plus Martin Sheen and Ricky Jay.
And a wonderful, terrifically funny woman I really want you to meet, Roseanne Barr.
And believe it or not, a tape of my wedding.
Can't wait to see that.
Plus, my favorite high school teacher, Mr. Wilkerson, will be here.
And all of us, thanks for being here this morning and tomorrow if you can. We love you.
I just like you. I don't know you.